What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lose Your Ass podcast. As always, I'm here with Deirdre on this beautiful Thursday.
Yes, it's Thursday. I know the days are getting messed up now. It's getting confusing now.
We are at a cluster. And you
Yeah.
know it's a Thursday because any day that ends in Y means Deirdre will have some kind of microphone catastrophe.
Of course.
Usually not to start
Obviously. Well, getting it out of the way early now.
the show.
Getting it out of the way early. And
But yeah, we got big news all across the board.
Yes.
Almost every sport has some news to talk about.
They do. They do. Let's start with technical difficulties.
Big TD. Not for
Big
touch.
technical difficulties going on right now. Hold on, there we go. All right, we're going to start with, as we talk about my catastrophes, a big catastrophe happening with your Giants as their first-round pick from 2019 got arrested for armed robbery. Was it something armed robbery?
I believe so,
along
yes.
those lines, as well as Seahawks' newest addition to their secondary, Quinton Dunbar, is also in trouble with it. Both are claiming their innocence. I believe DeAndre Baker is now claiming that he was playing, I think, some type of video game while this was happening. It was reported later. But the newest news on this is that lawyers representing both parties are now fighting with each other. Lawyer Patrick Patel has threatened on Baker's behalf a liable slander suit against Dunbar's lawyer Michael Grieco. The allegation arises from Grieco tweet that was aimed at exonerating Dunbar, but also implying that Baker had a motive to commit a robbery that allegedly entailed $70,000 in cash and jewelry. So they're all kind of pointing the finger at each other, which doesn't look good. Also, crazy thing with that is that every single one, so every New York football team's first-round pick from last year has been arrested in this offseason, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
This is just stupid.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know if this was. They're both essentially saying that neither of them have done it. They both are professing that they were innocent. I believe that this wasn't reported till later in the day, like way later.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's
$70,000. Really, guys?
And that's not included. Yeah, I know. It seemed.
What was that first round signing bonus in 2019?
I'm sure it was
more than 70,000.
Much more than 70,000. Much more. Well, Dunbar, I don't know how much Dunbar's making, because he was a 5th round pick, I believe. Yeah. He was not or maybe he was undrafted, but he was. I don't think he's making. I don't think that he's hit himself to the level of making. I think DeAndre Baker is making a lot of money. He was a 1st round draft pick, but
right,
it's that level yet. But yeah, so it's crazy.
Deirdre, I'm losing you over here.
Having issues as usual with my mic.
Technical, that's a technical foul.
Yes. So.
You remember that movie? That was a great movie. That's a technical foul. I got nothing on you. So to entertain the people, I'm going to sing That's a Technical Foul until Deirdre returns. That's a technical foul.
My phone speaker not working.
Oh, and you're back. There we go. Welcome back, Deirdre. We're pleased to have you. And you're gone again.
Good.
Deirdre's like my ex-girlfriend. Always coming in and out.
In and out. I know. You got me?
I got you. You're back.
So, So yeah, Professor Innocence, like I said, they're it's a crazy situation. I think from what I hear, they were playing cards, lost. I guess lost and robbed. I mean, I think that's the story that everyone is going with.
Unreal.
Yeah, I don't get
So
it.
it's either way.
Yeah. I don't get the part of that makes sense. I mean, and then of course Ed Oliver got arrested on a DWI as well. So that is the third. That's
How
the
the
trifecta.
hell? Question.
Are you getting arrested for a DUI right now? Are you getting arrested for a DUI right now?
That's first off. Second off, how the hell do you get arrested for a DUI when you drive a horse?
Yeah. It's just so stupid. Well, also apparently he was unlawfully carrying a handgun.
That's great.
So
does this guy think he's a cowboy?
I know. It's crazy. It's another crazy story. I feel like, I mean, me and you both spoken about it, that these NFL players, especially the NFL, have been getting into a lot of trouble during quarantine, and it seems very hard to get in trouble during quarantine.
Yeah, you would think so.
Super difficult to get into trouble during quarantine, but they're like, why? First off, how are you leaving? Like, where are you going that you're driving intoxicated, especially now? That you're, I mean,
where you going, where you coming from.
Right. Like, stay in your house and get drunk.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
And if you know that you have a handgun.
Salute.
Yes. And if you know that you have a handgun that is illegal.
Yeah.
Don't have a handgun that's illegal if you're.
That's the first thing. Yeah, absolutely.
If you're, and then don't get caught with it. Stay in your house. Like, stay in your home. And do what you gotta do. But do not. Come on, man. That's a come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
Exactly.
Shout out to Paulie.
And then former New York Giant, current Washington Redskin, Cody Latimer, was charged with second-degree menacing and illegal discharge of a handgun. So, yes, he's has been arrested on assault and weapons charges. Another, like, what the heck, guys? Like, this happened in a Denver suburb. In a statement posted online by Douglas County sheriffs in Colorado, said that they responded to reports of gunshots inside an apartment at a complex. Once inside the apartments, authorities found 3 men, one with minor injuries that were not from a gunshot. Latimer was the only one arrested, the statement said. So, as well as being charged with the assault, menacing, and discharge of a firearm, Latimer was also charged with the prohibited use of a weapon and reckless endangerment, both of which are misdemeanors. So he was charged with 3 felonies, 2 misdemeanors, 1 season that's gone, and potentially career that is gone. All because, and you know what the good thing is too? Like, with the Redskins, he had a shot of becoming a good receiver because they don't have a lot of receivers.
Yeah.
So you had that opportunity right in front of you, young quarterback, incredible coach, all in front of you, to give it up over probably a stupid argument. A stupid argument.
If you would be listening.
Yeah.
Social distancing.
Yeah, you wouldn't have this issue.
Maybe that's why he shot the gun. Maybe he couldn't punch him because he would get too close to him. Gotta do it from the
Well, one of them had injuries that were not because of a firearm. So I'm assuming he also
cocked him.
Right.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I'm assuming it was a fight, and then he took.
Tell you, the older I get, the more I see, the dumber these guys get.
And we're going to stick with the Washington Redskins. In a good news story, Antonio Gandy Golden, the newest Washington Redskin, was drafted from Liberty University, I believe, has fully recovered from COVID-19 and is doing much better, they say. So in a stroke of good news, Antonio Gandy Golden has fully recovered after his COVID-19 diagnosis, and he's ready to start competing again.
Awesome. Good for him.
Yes.
Great.
And
great
also,
probably a little bit of good news.
Yes, and also another guy that has a chance to be a good wide receiver on a team that does not have a lot of wide receiver strength in it. So that's exciting for him. He's fully recovered, and we are happy for that. So some good news in this crazy time that he actually recovered. We're going to go to college for the next insane journey that we're taking. This has to do with Kentucky. Now, Kentucky is in the midst of a scandal, and I'm going to ask you, James, what sport do you think this scandal is in?
Kentucky?
Yeah.
Horse racing.
Horse racing. No, but it is a sport that might not be very popular amongst everyone. The Kentucky cheerleaders.
Ooh, I love the cheerleading scandal.
Yes, it's a wild hazing scandal. The University of Kentucky's coaches have been fired after allegations of team members being forced to booze and perform topless and bottomless cheering stunts in this retreat that happened back in February. So it's crazy. But in other news, a group of 850 former Wildcats cheerleaders are rallying behind the coaches that are fired, demanding they get their jobs back.
So. Here we go again.
It's a pretty new one. I mean, when you hear Kentucky, you assume Calipari did something again. Called. It's paid a basketball player, but no, it is a kind of a sexual scandal when it comes to putting young women and young men with their pants off and topless performing cheerleading stunts at something that's supposed to be a retreat. And as we know, colleges are taking very a close eye on, especially fraternities and sororities with hazing.
Absolutely.
So to have it done with people that you're actually paying that they are doing this hazing, it's bad. It's not a good situation.
No, I would say not.
But crazy nonetheless. And yeah, it doesn't seem like the cheerleaders are that upset. Like, former cheerleaders don't seem, usually, like, when a scandal happens, you have all these people behind you, behind saying, like, oh yeah, it happened to me too. It seems like the cheerleaders are on the side of the fired coaches.
Interesting.
So yeah, so that is something that is going on.
Curious.
Yeah, it's a very interesting.
Let's keep that on the watch list for a little bit.
We will. Don't you worry. In another unfortunate news, WWE superstar Shad Gaspard, formerly known from Crime Time, his body was found on the shore of Venice Beach, I believe, or some beach in California, where he was swimming with his son, and unfortunately, the riptide, I guess, dragged him out, and his son was saved by the lifeguards after Shad said, "Worry about him first." everyone in WWE is mourning the loss, as well as his family,
Absolutely.
and everyone has nothing but positive things to say about him. So,
Yeah.
our thoughts and prayers are with his family. Very, very sad story. Very, very sad.
I was reading about that last night. That was terrible.
Yeah, it's super sad story. He was a very good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Actually wrestled on the same team as Shaq once, which was cool.
Yes.
Yeah, you remember that? Yeah. Yep. Great members in WWE.
That was great.
The Crime Time.
They were fun. They were really fun.
Yeah, I believe they were still wrestling in like independent shows, like our friend Super Nitro, Brooklyn guy.
He did post a thing about him as well.
Yeah. Today. So rest in peace to Shad Gaspard.
Brooklyn native.
Yep. Rest in peace to Shad Gaspard and
absolutely.
Thoughts and T's and P's with his family.
Yes.
And we move on to another current event. Rob Gronkowski, as everyone has seen, has lost a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
He is, I don't want to say skin and bones. It's hard to say someone's skin and bones when they're 6'6", 240. Yeah. But he is saying that he's about 4 protein shakes away from his ideal weight, which I don't think that's true. If you look at him in the Patriots uniform, it's not even close. He's not even near his ideal weight. Mm-hmm. What he was with. I mean, unless he's trying to get leaner,
quicker.
Yeah. I think he's got to bulk up a little bit more than he thinks.
Yeah.
He got some good defenders in that AFC, in the NFC South.
Yeah.
That he's going to be in. He's going to have to do a lot of the protection for Tom Brady because, as we know, that offensive line isn't great. They obviously added the best offensive lineman in the draft, in my opinion, but still not great. They're not going to be able to protect Brady as well as people think.
Yeah, I agree.
So that is something to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
And I will finish off with the Cowboys. I know that you have some baseball news for us. But Cowboys, Aldon Smith, the man that they just signed, who had he was an all-pro defensive end, but has not set foot on the field since 2015 because he was banned, I guess, from the league. He has officially been reinstated after his 4-year absence, and he's apparently sober and training nonstop, and he's very excited to be with the Cowboys. So it should be interesting to see how he fares. He is 30 years old. He has not been on the field since he was 26 to 30, as I am at 26 right now. It only goes down from there. So that should be interesting to see how he does. And James, you got some baseball news for us.
Yes, I do.
Give it to us.
First, we're going to give us all the sad news. Due to the whiny, immature side of baseball, there may not be a baseball season because we can't figure out if players will be getting paid their regular salary or if they won't be getting paid their regular salary. So owners are flipping out, players are flipping out. The MLBPA has no idea what they're doing, as per usual. Shout out to Tony Clark. Good job you're doing over there, buddy. And there may not be a baseball season this year because
ridiculous.
A couple $1 million ain't enough to throw a baseball for half of the amount of time that you're supposed to do it. Now, on the lighter side of baseball news, kiddos, break out your baseball card collections. Don't know when it happened. It was recent. I don't know if it was pre-coronavirus or if it was an online auction, but it was an auction Mike Trout autographed Bowman Chrome rookie card has sold at auction for $900,000, making it the record-breaking. I believe it's tied. It ties the record for the most expensive card ever sold. Michael Jordan and LeBron James card both sold for $900,000.
Wow. I wish I kept my baseball and basketball cards now.
Obviously, that's not the most. It's the most expensive modern card. So, 1980 to now, I believe that would be the record. Everybody knows the Honest Wagner Topps T06 was the most expensive card ever sold at auction, $1.3 million. So that's that.
So
Hang on to some of those
yeah, okay. So cards are
that you
coming.
got
Cards
and,
are coming back.
pray to God. I'll say this. Cards are coming back. It's just it's got to be a specific card, and send them out to Bowman, send them out to PSA, DNA, get them graded, keep them in good condition, and you at least get something back. So I have a great story. I used to do like box breaks and stuff, so I used to get like 2 or 3 rookie autographs per box that you did, because you would buy like 20 packs per box. And one year before Jose Fernandez ever made it to the league, I bought a box and I pulled a Jose Fernandez rookie card, rookie autograph card, and put it in a sleeve, put it in a top loader, and like threw it into my box of cards that was sitting in the closet. And the year after he won Rookie of the Year, I pull my cards out and I'm looking through them, and I'm like, oh shit, I got a Jose Fernandez one. I didn't even know that. So I ended up selling it because I rode the hot wave of him being Rookie of the Year.
Right.
And I think it was a couple years after that when he passed away in the boating accident. And I never kicked myself over selling a card more, not because like, the value would have went up way more, because it didn't. The value actually dropped, which was weird.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
That's
and
surprising.
I think that was because of the whole idea that there may have been drugs on board.
Right.
It spiked for about 2 days until that report came out, and then it dropped tremendously. But I tell you, it was a pain in the ass for me to get anything Jose Fernandez after that.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
Yeah, and I got a bunch of stuff after. I got a bunch of rookie cards from him, not autographed. I got a bunch of like 8x10 photos of him and stuff because I felt so terrible about it. And I really did like Jose Fernandez. Me and my friend Nick, we went to Jose Fernandez's first game in the major leagues ever. He was playing at Citi Field against the Mets. I remember a quote he had before it, because Jose Fernandez lived a crazy life.
Yeah.
I remember a quote before the game. A reporter asked him if he was scared, and he was like, "I've been shot at. I've been arrested. I'm not scared of David Wright." And it was like an insult, but it wasn't.
Right.
And I think David Wright clarified on that. He was like, "That's not an insult to me. Like, yeah, he shouldn't be scared of me. He's been shot at. He's been arrested."
Right.
But yeah, so I'll always remember that, and I remember being at the game, and I'm like, "Who the hell is this kid?" And then after the first inning, you knew who that kid was, and there was no questions about it.
Yeah.
And total shame, but yeah. So that's my kicking myself in the ass moment.
We'll be back with our rant session. We both are going to roast some people after this.
Mm-hmm.